All right, let's go ahead and talk about Dylan Harper commits to Rutgers. This is a huge commitment, guys, especially with Ace Bailey. Also, I think his high school teammate, right? I mean, just being able to recruit him, get him there, that kind of stuff. I mean, just a huge situation for Rutgers on the up and up right now. The basketball team, not really as much. They lost to Wake Forest tonight, and that wasn't exactly pretty. But I mean, this is a really good thing. Steve Pikiell was looking like, a really good recruiter in this situation. So, Burke, let's go to you first. Are you concerned with this addition and the addition of Ace Bailey? Are you concerned with facing Rutgers in the future in the Big Ten?
No, because those guys are not going to be here long enough to become like the true crazy threats that they could possibly be if they spent 4 years there. But I am like, this is awesome. This is awesome for Rutgers.
Yeah.
Like they are a fan base who deserves some excitement like this, something to supercharge their program. And I mean, it's going to be exciting. Those are two of the top three guys of the class. That's a hell of a class. Like
24/7, they're the top two.
Like right now, they are playing the basketball on par with, I would say, the Maryland team right now. And just having a future, man, can be so exciting. It can keep a fan base going. And I am excited to see a bunch of ludicrous Rutgers fans next year. Of course, like, hey, they've gotten the better of us in the rack like far more times than I would have liked, but it's still just two freshmen isn't enough to make me fear you, especially when we'll have a third year Malik Renew. We'll have hopefully Liam McNeely and Derek Queen coming in. But we'll have our pieces. We'll have established pieces. Rutgers will as well. But if those guys came here, they're going to be given more than their fair share of time. And just good and bad for the Rutgers program. So I don't feel any way about it, really.
Well, I'm there with you. He's not going to last long, but I think what this does for Rutgers fans more than anything is it gives you excitement about Steve Pikiell just in general with his recruiting and bringing in talent, because Rutgers has been good lately, but they've not had like that star, right, that fans could kind of rally behind. McCulhey and Cam Spencer, those guys, I mean, those were really good players, but they're not like the NBA level star that you can kind of rally behind. Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper, they give you that, especially coming in together. I mean, Dylan Harper is 6'6", a combo guard. I mean, that's an NBA size guy who's going to, whether it's 1 year, two, however long he's there for, you're going to really be able to rally behind that guy and really be able to look at your team in a different light. So you're not just like the raw defensive team, but you have more talent there that you can get behind. And I think that's really empowering for a fan base and really empowering for a team as well. Sonny, what are some of your thoughts about this team with Dylan Harper going forward?
I mean, I think they can be very good next year just because I hold Pikiell in very high regard. I think he's legit one of the best coaches in the conference. And obviously, with Harper and Bailey, there's a lot of exciting times coming to the Rutgers. But with excitement comes expectations.
Right.
And next year, there's going to be a lot of kids that are going to be watching Bailey and Harper. And, the pressure is going to be on Pikiell to develop these guys into one-and-done lottery players. Because if they're not, the 2026, second rated player in New Jersey is going to see what happened to Harper. And it's like, you know what, if I go to Duke, I know I'm going to be a top 5 pick. If, Harper struggles a little bit or has to stay for year 2 or he falls out of the lottery, that's going to bring a lot of baggage to Rutgers in the future. So, it's exciting times, but at the same time, Pikiell's got to do the best coaching job he can, trying to balance team success next year with, getting these two guys ready for that next level.
Yeah, that's a great point. We're kind of seeing it a little bit with Maryland right now with Deshaun Harris-Smith, right? A top 30 recruit in the class last year, and he's not playing like it. And I hate to, I hate to say that because we just gave Maryland their flowers with Jameer Young and Julian Reese, but you have to have him come in and produce early. Doesn't mean he has to be the star of the Big Ten, but he has to be able to come in and produce early because, there could be some bad, thoughts based on expectations if he's not able to do that. Burke, what are some of your thoughts about the expectations of the team going forward?
I just wanted to build on what Sonny was talking about just with Pikiell and how he is a great coach. He is a great coach, but it's going to be a truly different test of his coaching abilities because he's always been able to take lesser talent, play them up and almost seemingly simultaneously drag down the opposition's talent. And like that's where his bread and butter is. That's where he's made his money. And now that he has the talent, it's going to be an interesting season to watch how he coaches that talent, because you don't have to you don't have to play the dirty ball when you got hoopers like that.
Right. So are we? I know Pikiell just signed, an extension recently. I think it goes through 31 or something like that. I think it's like a $15 million buyout. So, that's high, right? Especially for a basketball coach. But are we concerned about Pikiell's future possibly getting poached by another program if he shows that he's able to, get these recruits, and if he's able to send them off to the NBA? Are we concerned about a possible, larger school coming in and maybe trying to pay him more money, pay that buyout and get him out of there? Sonny, you have any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's hard to tell with the way the college landscape changes next year. It's Rutgers, but it's also going to be a Big Ten job. And so Rutgers is going to have a lot more money. I'm not talking about, if Tennessee has another early exit this year, they may be looking to move on from Barnes. Actually, Tennessee's not a good example. They're SEC. But, there's other programs that may be held on a higher regard when it comes to basketball, but they don't have that $80 million coming in like Rutgers will have in this TV media deal. So right. My thinking is, will he be a target? Yes. Should he be a target? Yes. But if I'm Pikiell at the same time, that New Jersey area, New York City's right there. They churn out a lot of talent from that area. And if he's got a gig, let's be honest, it's Rutgers. It's one of those situations where if he can make a tournament every year, those are the expectations. Next year they're going to be entering the season ranked. And from what I read, I think it's like the fourth time in like 30 years that they're going to have a preseason ranking. The expectations are really low up in New Jersey. So, for someone like Pikiell, he might just be in the right spot. But if I'm a program who's looking to, make a change as a head coach, he's one of the first guys I at least give a phone call to.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially, being able to recruit. I think Bailey is like from Georgia or something like that. Being able to recruit a kid down from Georgia up to, New Jersey. Obviously Harper's from New Jersey, so kind of the hometown kid. That's a good way to get him in there. But, even Ace Bailey was kind of recruiting Dylan Harper to go there. I mean, that's a huge thing. Burke, you have any thoughts on Steve Pikiell's future and whether he'll be with Rutgers long term?
I mean, I think this bought him a hell of a whole lot of time. Like for that program to land these two guys, that is a monumental feat. That is a monumental feather in his cap. Yeah. Like, so, I mean, he could just have one of those forever jobs if he plays this all right. And like Sonny said, why go elsewhere? We don't know how this is all going to shake out. It might just be the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, and then nobody else matters whatsoever. We don't know how all this shakes out in a few years.
It's kind of like, what if the Illinois or Indiana job opened up? We have the money, we have the fan base to go after and give Pikiell a raise. But the expectations reset if Pikiell's one of our coaches. We want to be competing for Sweet 16s, Final Fours every single year. And that's something like the folks that, we're Rutgers fans, really, they're just happy to be competing. So, as we're kind of talking about, he's got a good gig right now. So I don't know if he wants to change that up at all.
Yeah. Don't bite the hand.
Right. Yeah, no, I think you guys are right. I think it also comes with, what is the program's expectations, because Rutgers has not been, you know, the expectations of a UConn or a Kentucky or anything like that. Obviously, not saying that, if anything happens to those guys, they're going to come calling for Pikiell. I don't think Kentucky would become calling for Pikiell. But, it's one of those situations where if you can really get a good run and you can make this happen, you can be there for a while. And I think you guys make a good point. The money in the Big Ten is nice right now. I mean, if this really does come into like a power two situation to where the Big Ten and the SEC are kind of above everyone else and making these things happen, Steve Pikiell, he's gonna have a lot of reasons to stay at Rutgers.
Yeah, got a couple million reasons to stay
exactly,
at Rutgers. Like,
exactly.
Got a couple tens of millions of reasons. Yeah,
exactly. And if he's, I think it gets underrated, especially with basketball coaches. I think it happens more with basketball coaches, where like when you find a school that you can be integrated in, that your family's happy at, that you're in an area that you like and you enjoy, that seems to be more of a bigger deal for basketball coaches than it is football coaches. And so I think at the end of the day, Rutgers could find their long-term coach right here if they just keep him happy and they do pay him well. I don't know. I don't think I see Rutgers, or not Rutgers. I don't think I see Pikiell leaving Rutgers anytime soon, even if the money or the job is better somewhere else. I think they got their guy for the long haul if they want him. So
yeah, I'd feel good about it if I were them.
Yeah. Especially if you can keep recruiting like this as well.
Yeah.
So, thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.